of America to maintain law and order, to foster a perpetual to pursue navigating all wars, to maintain a sense of obligation to the community, state, and nation.
Roll call of officers.
Commander,
Present.
David White. Peter Wright. Here. Sergeant Bernard. Here. Captain. Here. Keyboard members, Mike Davis.
Here.
Brandon is excused. Okay.
Here. Roll call.
Reading the minutes of previous meeting.
I support the week for a little bit, continue with business.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor, raise their hand.
What was it about?
Motion carries. Introduction of guests and prospective new members. Yes. You. Hi, I'm Gary Smith. I'm the vice commander for Area K. Along with post 132, Ryder, son, of course, I'm already in there. So, go ahead.
Commander George Molina, past district commander. Thank you for inviting us over.
Dave Sheridan, past district commander. Thank you as well for being with.
Reading of prospect new members.
The first number, we either find it. Jamie.
And I verified her credentials and she qualifies. Next one.
Next one would be Kelly.
I checked her credentials and she qualifies. Next one.
The Michelle Busey.
She's not here, she is absent, she had help.
Yeah. And I checked her credentials and she qualifies and they're all paid. So I make a motion that we vote on their membership. Sorry? Yeah. So moved. All right, any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussions? All those in favor? Aye. Welcome aboard. Sick call, do we know of any member, whether it's, Legion Riders or SAL or auxiliary that are ill or in the hospital?
Our two, one or two riders recovering, we should be back, he says, within 6 months, so within 2 months.
All right. Keep people in your prayers. Anything under unfinished business?
Hey, I'm sorry. Yes, unfinished business? Commander, I want to address the permanent suspension of my wife Sheila and actions that were done based on false information. I want to make a motion that my wife's permanent ban from this post is rescinded.
Second. Stay up for a second.
I third.
And a second to.
Third.
The suspension of Sheila. Any discussion?
Yes, sir.
What was she suspended for? What was the actual reason?
For harassing the bartender, physically assaulting the bartender, creating problems here. When she was suspended, she was asked to leave, and she wasn't leaving. She refused to leave. Ace, the district commander, had to get involved. Both Sheila and Dave to leave the property, and that was during the devastating open house.
Sir, if you would respond exactly what was in the motion that you made to suspend her, because you specifically said she would refuse to go on a certain night on which she was asked to leave. As you well know, or many of you know, we were filming that night. And the evidence proves that no one in this post asked her to leave that night. That's a false statement, and it's in your minutes, if you look at them. That's what the motion was. So I'm asking you that you rescind my motion to ban my wife. She's District 2 Auxiliary Treasurer, which will be hosting the meeting next month. It's an embarrassment of this post to ban my wife permanently so she can't come here with me. This is just the continued harassment that we will be talking about throughout this meeting.
No, sorry, I know what you mean, and this is through you, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry, I didn't put you on the spot, but was it the same day that I witnessed her assault you?
Yes.
Thank you. I witnessed that, sir. I watched your wife put hands on her.
Do what?
I watched your wife put hands on that woman right there. So don't give me that line.
We were glad to have a trial, sir, and I have evidence in the videotape that says this is not the case. As you know, we've been filming you ever since you assaulted me, Ben.
I talked for the vote.
When you
Call for motion. Call for motion.
That's it. First off, in response, I did not press the charges against her. The membership pressed the charges, and the E-board pressed. The E-board pressed the charges. It was brought up to the membership. The membership voted on it to suspend her permanently.
This is not correct, and I have that on tape as well. Sir, you're continuing to harass my wife and I with these accusations by this man. He's speaking out of turn.
Call for the motion.
Hold on. Okay, we're not gonna get anywhere. I'm calling for a vote. All those in favor to keep, Sheila's suspension from here from the post, please vote with a raise of hands. So you need to raise your hands if you're in favor of keeping the suspension.
What is the motion as written was to unsuspend her, so you have to vote yes to unsuspend her, or no to keep her suspended.
Okay. You heard what he said?
The motion, as was stated, correct me, please correct me if I'm wrong, was to unsuspend Sheila. So a vote yes would be to unsuspend her. A vote no would be to leave the suspension in place.
All those in favor of a yes, please raise your hands.
That's removing it?
You know how many?
Of removing it? I'm sorry, please.
I'm confused.
So, just, paraphrasing, a yes or a yay would be to
revoke the suspension.
Yeah.
A no would be to keep it as it is right now. Did I say that
That is
right?
correct, that is correct. So all those in favor of yes, please raise your hand. All those in favor of no, not to lift the suspension, please raise your hands. Okay, of those people that abstain, can you please raise your hands? I mean,
The ones that didn't vote, can you please raise your hand?
well, it's all, no,
Yeah.
Okay, I just don't think you're.
so then the suspension stays. Anything else under unfinished business? Yes.
The suspension of myself and Mark Brown that's been extended, I move that that suspension be removed.
That would be under new business, or not correction, under good of the Legion. So, you gotta wait till it's, under good of the Legion.
I've been a motion.
I'm sorry, I made a motion.
You can't make a motion, not on this one, it has to be under good of the Legion.
If it's seconded, I have a motion on the floor.
I second it.
No, you do
I,
not.
I put a motion on
It
the
has to be
floor.
under good of the Legion. You're out of order.
Is the judge advocate here that we can clarify the bylaws? The rules state
It's
that I can make a motion, and if it's seconded, we have a discussion and then a vote.
Sit down, please. You're out of order. New business.
I have still old business, sir. Sir, I'm requesting the minutes and the financial report for the last 6 months. I've made the complaint to district that this post has not followed the requirements of having monthly meetings of the general membership, which I've been only allowed to attend. Motions such as I've made tonight have been tried to for months to get to the bottom of this issue so that we can all go forward with respect to the district's meeting next month here. We're not going to be an embarrassment if this continues to be an issue, sir.
Under that, Mr. Molina, can you respond to that?
As you all know, we were here a few weeks ago. I'm the chairman for the district investigative chief. After we hashed everything out, we came to the conclusion that there was no merit in the complaint. We found out that, because of the minutes Congress, Mr. Poston had the minutes. So, the finance reports, this post hired an accountant, brought everything up to date, so there is no problem. So the investigative committee found that there was no merit in this complaint at all. So
Thank you, sir.
it's on you, Commander.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
So your question has been answered. Now we're going under new business.
The suspension, extension of Mark Brown and I
is good of the Legion, not in business. Why are you not understanding this? I'm sorry to interrupt, I'm sorry to talk at the time. Where are you not understanding? This isn't good of the Legion, it's new business. It's good to leave, like,
You're so out of order. You're so out of order.
You gotta wait till go to the Legion, which is gonna be the next step. So please sit down.
I'm only reminded that Ben and I and Pedro went to the American Legion College, in which these outbursts by this past mayor is out of line with decor and demeanor of the American Legion.
Please sit down.
Thank you for saying please.
Do we have anything under new business?
Question,
Yes.
can we have an update on, the purchase of scope?
That's probably.
Yeah.
So, all the entities are going to be going in together, so we can all purchase it together, not just the Legion. The ladies are doing it, SAL and the riders are all pitching it together. We're just trying to get the funds together and then we'll move forward from there. Right now, we're on our way to, getting it, so it should be pretty soon.
On that topic, I am currently writing a check.
We'll do that after the meeting.
How much are you guys asking each of the entities for, additional?
Yes, sir.
Is that for the school thing, memorial event?
Yes.
Commander, under new business, I wish to address a letter I received that I don't believe was ratified by the general membership meeting. You had signed it, and I wish to address the points that you made in this letter. That's new business to me, because I just.
That's under the good.
Who seconded it?
I second it.
It's for the good of the Legion.
I dispute what's the good of the Legion, sir, and that's why I'm
You
here.
can dispute all you want, but you're out of order.
I've made a motion.
You know what? One more outburst from you, and I'm gonna have the sergeant of arms, escort you out of the meeting.
You don't, because I have stuff I want to hear.
Okay.
Sir,
Anything else under new business? Anything else under new business? The memorial. Any place for the memorial will come?
The memorial will be on April 30th, here, from 1 to 4.
And it's a pop-up.
And it's a pop, yes.
And you can bring whatever you want to. We're not assigning, contracts to the, whatever you want to bring in. Yes, sir.
We're going with, Memorial Day event, prior to the checking the flag, it's also, volunteer for the cemetery.
Yes, we're gonna be placing the flags. May 27th at, 8 AM at Evergreen Cemetery. As everybody knows, American Legion Post 7 is in charge of the whole cemetery, not just the south side. So we're gonna need volunteers to place the flags and remove the flags. So the removal of the flags will be May 29th at 5 PM. So far, I have, confirmation from, CTI Bank. They're gonna provide us with, 40 volunteers. And this year, the Arizona chapter of Buffalo Soldiers are gonna be helping us place the flags and retrieve the flags. Placing the flags is no problem. Retrieving the flags is where we have a hard time getting volunteers. If everybody in this room would, show up to retrieve the flags, we could have it done within an hour. If only 5 people show up, we're gonna be there for at least 3 hours. I don't know if afterwards, after retrieving the flags, you guys wanna gather here and have a potluck. Please let us know, as soon as possible, and then we'll bring it up at the next general meeting. Did I miss anything? And 27? That's, 8 o'clock in the morning. And 29? That's fine.
Now you had a question.
Yes,
We need, volunteers to help go through the flags and bundle them in.
yes, have anybody picked a date?
The 28th, prior to the 27th on Wednesday.
Okay,
Wednesday dinner for.
okay. At what time for you?
We can start between 4 and whatever time we
Yeah.
Okay,
As volunteers can arrive on Wednesday, regular night dinner.
okay. Everybody heard that?
Can I have a clarification for Tom Moore? What date?
The 30th, that would be the last Sunday of the month, of this month.
Wednesday,
24.
the right before the.
Now, as everybody's been waiting for, we're gonna do, first off, I wanna make. Yeah, we're gonna go back to new business.
Real quick, we do have the sponsorship here for, Tucson High, the Legion Baseball. It has to go through the membership if we want to donate $300 for the Legion Baseball for Tucson High this summer.
So you're making a motion?
I can't,
Yes, you can.
I'll make a motion that we give them the $300 like we have in the past for decades.
I'm gonna second that motion. So I have a motion and a second to donate $300 to the Tucson High, baseball team. Discussion? Not yet. I'm announcing the motion. Just to let everybody know, we've been sponsoring the Tucson High, baseball team for, almost 8 years. And usually they do good at the Legion tournament. Is that correct, Mr. Molina?
Yes, sir. This team made it to the World Series 3 years ago. So it's well worth it to have full serving sponsor a great team from that.
Thank you, sir. Any discussion? Yes, Anthony.
I have no problem with, I'm a Tucson High alumni, I have no problem, sponsoring them. We just need to get a little more participation from Tucson High when it comes to, picking up flags. Before, they've done it before, but it's been a while. So maybe if, somebody can, talk to Lizette, and, maybe we can get some of those youngsters up there.
I will personally contact the coach myself.
Okay.
Question?
I got no trouble with the motion or the reason for, I just wanna make sure that, I agree with that. I presume we have the funds to do that.
Yes.
Senator Pro Tem, can we get like some sort of alert, a newsletter that states all their games, so we can go over there and support them? We got nothing else to do.
We do get it, and it goes on the website.
I meant a flyer, you guys always give out the flyers and so on and so forth, and I'm unaware of these dates.
Well, it's hard to put out a flyer because it all depends on their standing. If they win, they continue. If they lose, then they're out. So it's hard to,
Are you talking about the normal schedule, the ones that they play before they get into playoffs? Yeah, they'll send us one, and then I can make copies of that. As soon as I get them, we can say, okay, we have copies of the schedule, and we'll have them here, you can pick one up.
Thank you.
All right. Under good of the order, I mean. good
What
of
about
the-
the motion?
Oh, yeah, I have a motion and a second to donate the $300 to Tucson High, American Legion, baseball team. Is there any further discussion on this matter? All those in favor, please raise your hand. All those opposed, please raise your hand. Motion carries. All right. Under good of the Legion. Who's got anything under good of the Legion? Yes, Dave.
I'm again not confused why this letter you sent me extending my suspension for the post for another 6 months based on these points. And if you want, I'll go over all of them, but there's about 8 of them I need to address. In which one, you said that multiple filings of superficial, inaccurate allegations against the post to district level, unnecessary investigations that repeatedly go nowhere and waste everyone's involved time. In June 2022, I initiated an investigation to District 2 regarding how the May election had been conducted. This investigation addressed the lack of financial statements and general membership meetings. These items are all listed in the post bylaws. The lack of general membership meetings and financial statements continues to this day. I discovered that district leadership and post leadership believe that autonomy means that the stated bylaws do not have to be followed. That's the most important issue that I brought before this post, that we follow our own bylaws. If you don't, change them. But I've asked since the election when I ran for junior vice commander 2 years ago, use the bylaws to define the job description of the junior vice commander. Another point in your accusations, witnessed and protests repeated anti-Semitic racist speech accusing Jewish and Israel people of various heinous acts in regards to 9/11, despite an extremely high level of evidence that shows these claims are ridiculous at best and made up. Sir, Tom borrowed this book from me. It's called Solving 9/11, The Deception That Changed the World by Christopher Bolin.
And who's Christopher Bowman?
I'm excuse me, point of order, why is he interrupting my statement?
I'm gonna walk. I'm sorry. I'll come back in about 15 minutes.
Okay, that'll work.
What a baby. Jeez.
So I shared this book with Tom, and Tom gave it back to me in front of Ben at the bar. And the next time I saw this book was a couple weeks later when I was called into the office, the commander's office. And he threw it back at me, assaulting me, and calling me a racist. And he did it in a very loud voice that the members of our post at the Queen of Hearts couldn't help but overhear it. And that is the start of the harassment that occurred. So Tom borrowed the book for the 9/11 by Christopher Bolin, and when he returned it to me, he made some comments about it. Ben then borrowed the book, and after a few weeks, threw it at me in the office and called me racist. This attention could be overheard in the lounge area. No one has spoken to me since about the evidence presented in this book, gentlemen and ma'ams. Repeatedly filming, and this is another point, repeatedly filming and protesting inside the post and in parking lot, an attempt to cast the evidence of executive board members in a bad light. despite being repeatedly told not to film and not to harass our membership in the pursuit of their duties. Sir, gentlemen, ma'am, the assaults of vice commanders, I won't mention their name, but I'm sad. All right, the vice commanders, Tom and Anthony, began on May 19, 2022, continuing on August 29th and September 9th. The suspension of those times were not valid. In May, David no longer had a COVID presented proof. In August and September, the response from district for the investigation of the post had been received, and the post leadership claimed that they did not have it. We chose to film after that because the document contained abuse by the post leadership. We continued to come and be harassed in front of the sergeant at arms and the chaplain in plain view. The book throwing at me was witnessed by our adjutant and finance officer, Lizette. And so the history of this incident goes back to that assault. Then it goes on to another point that's in it, sir.
May I ask a question, Commander?
Yes.
Mr. James, is this complaint from last year?
No, sir, this is what he sent me in certified mail.
What you're stating now is from last year with this book?
This is the start of the cycle of abuse by leadership, and I'll go into more.
Exactly correct.
These are the
I'm
questions.
saying, are you bringing this up from last year?
No,
What you just stated was back in
Okay,
22.
so the incident started with an assault, and I had to gather proof, and then I did gather proof, filming, for 2 more assaults. It's on film, it's on record, we have a recording, and we have a report with the police. I filed a report against the 2 men who assaulted me here under this leadership. So, another point, are there any other questions about that? The failure to leave the post when requested. When did I fail to leave the post when asked? It was when suspicion should have been ended. I refused to be bullied by the post leadership. It was then at the meeting when I left, everyone else did. I continued to come to the only meetings we've been able to come to address these grievances, and the leadership and membership never showed up. They canceled meeting after meeting after meeting. The frustration I feel after my wife and I gave years of our lives to support this post in service to veterans has been undermined by this action by a lie. And so let me get to the rest. I'm sorry, I'm a little excited because, well, I'll be honest with you, I'm French, and we get passionate about things. And politics and religion are 2 of the most important. The historical content between outcoming David Croteau, including newspaper reports, assaults on active duty armament, repeated use of anti-Semitic language, and participation in organizations Occupy Tucson that are detrimental to the authenticity of the American Legion's stated mission. That's what this commander has accused me of. In my response,
First off, to answer that accusation that I had charged her with that.
Did you what?
It wasn't me, it was the E-board. The E-board recommended those charges be brought against you. And if they approved it, my job is to follow what the E-board says.
So I will respond to what you said the E-board said, but it has not, I've been to all the general membership meetings, and you have not had a validation of that E-board decision, sir. This continues to happen. Your BE board operates autonomy from the general membership, in my opinion. So the response to this.
On one of the times that you were asked to leave, because your questioning it was on September 14, 2022, and I have a copy of the police report. Where you were asked to leave and you refused to leave. Hold on. So there's your answer.
So again, sir, the accusations you're making were not valid. I was not arrested. I was only had to clarify my membership, which I have done in writing with the police department, and I could be reporting at most meetings if we have them. This should have been stymied a long time ago. When I asked you, after Ben assaulted me, said I called the police, Lizette saw it, and you said no. Remember, sir?
Yeah, because there was no witnesses.
Yes.
When I asked
Everyone listened to
Lizette-
that. He said
when I
yes.
asked Lizette
Can I
what
ask?
happened, she said, I never saw nothing. So what do you want me to do? What did you want me to do?
Have a trial.
Why would you have a trial?
Because the police were not called when he assaulted me. I accused him of assaulting, and I wanted to call the police, and you said, no, we can handle it here.
Then what you should have done is you should have pressed charges, and then he would have been brought to the E-board. You didn't press charges against him, not through the court system or through the Legion. So that's on you.
Can I just,
Yeah.
real quick? In our bylaws, how do we suspend or kick out people? I believe from going to college, American Legion College, that it's a membership
Well,
vote to kick him out and suspend him. And I understand what he's saying that, and you understand, Commander, that you said it was an E-board decision to send that letter, and of course, you just probably signed the paper for the commander.
and here's the way it works. He got notified that there was gonna be a suspension today. That's why they're here. It hasn't been brought up to the membership. Once he tells us his side of the story, rebutting those challenging the charges, then it's gonna be brought up to the membership. And once the membership votes whether to suspend him or not, it's up to the membership. The E-board makes the recommendation.
But he was literally suspended from all except for general membership meetings.
So he was not. He was not. The last time that he got
We went to both, but
the last time that he got suspended, it was recommended by the E-board, it was brought to the general membership. The membership voted to suspend him, both of them, for 6 months. Sheila and Cindy for 6 months. It wasn't up to the E-board, it was up to the general membership.
I'm just referring to those two members, I'm not referring to the spouses of those members, or Smith members or whatever. But as I was saying, I believe that any suspension and revocation of membership should be done by general membership and not just the E-board. The E-board can make a motion and therefore we can extend it. But you suspended our members. Without this general membership, of course, this gentleman right here says that all that is irrelevant for the paperwork, and he was trying to extract that paperwork, so we could see that general membership, who said yes, who said no, on kicking and suspending him out this past 6
It
months.
was voted on by the general membership.
Yes, sir.
Wait, I want to tell you that the E-board
Okay.
suspended, it was brought, they had court here,
Yes,
and the membership voted to suspend it.
yeah, and I'm trying
And
to
it was
extract,
done, but you just gave the.
I'm just trying to extract that notation, that he was suspended and the general membership.
They were,
suspended.
both they were here.
I want proof that the general membership voted.
Hey, let me clarify
suspended.
this, let me clarify this, so you can comprehend what's going on.
Yes,
The initial suspension, which was recommended by the E-board
correct.
and brought to the membership, was within the first 6 months.
When?
Now,
I'm trying to get proof, I'm trying to extract proof.
we already had that once, okay, let me finish.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
All right. This is for an extension of the suspension. Let me finish.
Yes,
This is for the extension of the suspension, which was voted on and brought to, voted on at the E-board meeting, which we are going to vote, the membership is going to vote today for the extension of the suspension.
correct.
Okay, what else don't you understand?
But I'm trying to extract proof for the previous 6 months of suspension. That's where I'm.
That's already done.
That's already done.
Yeah, no, there's no proof, and he even said that it's irrelevant,
It's irrelevant.
because.
So
No,
please
I
say
said that it was irrelevant for this now that's happening. The investigative committee and the whole board was here.
Yes.
In that big room, correct?
yes.
We discussed it, we, the board, for example, you see that I had that lady from, Post 131, Miss Linda Bray, which was a blessing to have on our board. Her opinion was great, wasn't it? And we really honor her opinion. So we, the board, Mr. Sharon from 68, the commander from 68, Linda Bray from 31, Ian, whatever. So we discussed what they said to district. So district commander said, George, you still on the board, you're in charge of the committee, investigative committee. So Mr. Sharon and the rest of the group, we hashed out this complaint, and we find it irrelevant. I mean, you know, there's nothing to prove, it's done. But so I'm gonna ask commander and the board to bring it up to any other people here. Get copies of your bylaws. We have bylaws. You can always ask them for, I want to see the bylaws. At any time this board says, hey, I need a committee, you wanna run it? We're gonna update the bylaws, anyone. Sit there, get a group, and say, well, I don't think this is old bylaws, let's update them, you know? But like you said, there, where's the proof? The proof is when anytime a member becomes unbecoming a legionnaire. Yes, sir. And the board, the membership here says, you're gone. Okay. Okay? That's it. We can't throw you out of the legion, you're not being a member, but they can suspend you. And with the suspension, if Mr. A predecessor or the new coming, whatever, they want to extend that suspension. I understand. They have a right to extend that.
I got you, but I want proof, and
They got it.
it can.
In other words,
I proof.
that's why we're here.
Well, anyway,
Well, 6 months ago.
I got Mark, on the floor, you can't stand here.
You can't call people to the floor.
Well, if you really have questions,
I got my-
discussion.
I got my hand up.
Okay, well, never mind.
Gentlemen, please, calm down, listen, okay? Everything's getting heated, I understand that. But look at that. Americanism, that's what we're here for. That's what we're about. Professionalism, preach it. You know what I'm saying? Please do not interrupt me again. That's what we're here for. Let's take care of this the way we should do it, and let it be ended. Excuse me.
Yes, Mark.
Okay, sorry, I can't stand, guys, but back under the discipline of post members, it says members shall be suspended or expelled of the Legion on proper showing of cause. Charges shall be based upon disloyalty, neglect of duty, and dishonest or conduct unbecoming of a member of the American Legion. All charges must be under oath in writing by the accusers. And no members in good standing shall lose their membership until a fair trial of the post department or manner of which the department bylaws and the department executive committee shall subscribe. So where is this under oath in writing of all the accusations made against all the people involved in this?
They were mailed to you.
No, under oath in writing, which means the person that accused us wrote a statement under oath in writing of what we did. And that's never been done. And I've been waiting for that. I asked for that in the first meeting this happened. I asked for that under oath and in writing. You guys got to follow your own bylaws. You know, it's right in here under Article 7. It is just as clear as day. I've never got nothing under oath. Can you produce something under oath in writing of the charges against everybody?
They were mailed to you.
Okay, that was a letter. It wasn't under oath in writing.
Stop.
Under oath in writing. I want to know where that letter's at.
You have to pick and choose to read the bylaws in your favor. Anytime we present you with the charges, you dispute everything. You deny everything. And there's proof.
I want it in oath, under writing. Where's it at? I gotta have it.
Let's continue.
If I could continue the points.
We proceed with the voting and all the way to talk to the sheriff.
Yeah, first, before we do that, Ben has something to say. Sure.
Y'all want something under oath and in writing?
Excuse me, but the
Good morning, Post Seven.
the question
Good morning, Post Seven.
is, your
Good morning, Post
accusation,
Seven.
your
You
accusation.
need to listen to this.
You said this was for the good of the order. I waited until now to speak my.
Good morning, Post Seven. I had the right to speak down, otherwise I know I will lose my nerve on chicken out. And I hope that this, I really hope that this is the last time that I will ever speak on this issue. But you know what? Dave Coachella right there, he was right. He was right. I am an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic. After a full year of sobriety and introspection, I can see now that the major trigger and the reason I was drinking so much was because I was terrified to deal with him. And it's nonsense. But the beer gave me that liquid courage. It did. Oh man. And I've asked him repeatedly, over and over and over, leave me alone. And he won't. He just won't. Including, even this past Monday, sending me an unwanted email and where he continues to double down and broadcast outrageous and offensive hate speech. The man is an anti-Semite Nazi. He's unhinged, and I'm sick of him. I come to this post because all of you people, you are my family. You are my family. I love all of you. You mean more to me than you could ever possibly know. This is the one place where I feel safe. I feel open. I can be who I am. As weird, as queer as I want to be, I can be that person. And it's lovely. It's so hard for me to be who I am. This is the one place where I can do that. It's the one place. You know, the last few years of interacting with that man, with dealing with him, have left me to the point of physical sickness. I used to get such bad panic attacks, including today, that I would have to go in the bathroom and I would vomit blood. Do you know, excuse my language, do you know how fucked up that is? To vomit blood repeatedly for months because you know you have to deal with somebody? It's sick. I genuinely believe that if we continue to let this guy come in here and stop this shit and do what he's doing, it's gonna go beyond the pale. He's gonna kill us. I honestly do believe that this man is a school shooter, for lack of a better word. I'm terrified. I'm freaking terrified. I am for the last and final time beseeching you, Dave, find a different post. You're not welcome here. From this moment forward, you're dead to me. If anyone ever asks me, oh, hey, how's Dave Bertel? I'm gonna say, I don't know, he died in fire. So, but I'm gonna give you some good news, Dave. You will always live rent-free in this brain of mine. You know why? Because when I had a stroke because I was drinking so much that I couldn't deal with you, and I wasn't taking care of my health. So every time that this hand, or this side of my face hurts, I will think of you, and I will blame you, and I want you to know, 100%, with no doubt, in front of everyone here, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you, and I'm leaving now because I can't fucking breathe.
Commander, with all due respect, this board, this membership will do the voting, get it over with, throw it under the rug. You know, this is a great post for many years. Doesn't remember, 34 years now. This is one of the best posts that I've been at, had the pleasure of working with. But it's up to you people to do the right thing. And thank you for your invite, but Commander, I require a meeting to go to. I want to thank you, the people of 07, of the membership. Thank you so much for having me, sir.
Thank you. At this moment, I will ask everybody that's not a Legionnaire, please step out of the hall. We will be conducting a vote to suspend or not, David Ford and Mark Brown. I need a motion to approve the suspension of the continuation of the suspension for David Ford and Mark Brown. So I need a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion that we, proceed with the recommendation of, that the suspension proceed under the our vote.
I got a motion and a second to proceed with the suspension of Mark Brown and David Ford. Any discussion? And you're only limited to 2 minutes.
Thank you, gentlemen, for taking the time to be a Legionnaire. I joined this after being a service organization of the American Legion, the VFW, Veterans for Peace, and Oath Keepers. I joined this because I thought I could get aligned with the largest veteran service organization to help veterans. And it's been my intention all along to help the veterans at this post, because I am a native Tucson and lived here all my life. The historical conduct, not at the point they made, I want to have full response to this point. Historical conduct between Dave Trodo, including newspaper reported assaults on active duty airmen, repeated use of anti-Semitic language, and participation in Occupy Tucson that is detrimental to the anti-ethical of the American Legions. Sir, I'm an American Legion, and I support Americanism 100%. The publications in the Tucson Sentinel discredit me are based upon suspected by facts. The statements in the Tucson Sentinel article reflect the author's opinion. As members of Veterans for Peace, I promoted the recruiter's office.
You got 30 seconds.
I'm gonna finish, sir, and if there's a motion, I have a motion to let me finish my
No, you
statement.
got 30 seconds.
This is,
No, there's no motion. You
I-
got 30 seconds.
he's
I
motion,
understand because he's also speaking to Mark as well.
You're out of line.
this
There's
is,
a motion on the floor.
this is what bullying looks like, gentlemen. I won't stay in American Legion if you tolerate this post bullying me and my wife. I will read the statement I made.
Sit down.
I regret posting on Facebook a meme that demeans the Jewish people. As a it was
Dave,
never my
sit down,
intention.
Dave.
I will.
You're done.
If I submit this
You're
here,
done.
2 minutes,
this is bullying, sir.
No, it's not.
Commander?
Anything else under discussion? Anybody else under discussion?
You guys, you live by this. You're supposed to live and die by this decision. He had threatened me just now and you all watched it. He threatened me. Ben, the one who assaulted me to begin this argument. I'm an
You're
American
out
as
of
you
line.
can find, and I'm a service
Sit down.
veteran.
Sit down.
Sir,
I make a motion for the vote. All those in favor of.
Yes, I'm trying to talk.
he has his 2
I
minutes.
can't put my arms up high, so and I can't stand up.
Where does it say 2 minutes? You got no bylaws that do that, sir. You are inventing the rules.
You're out of line, I said.
But I'm honest.
You're out of line.
So anyway, so what I'm confused at are the charges. It says it has to be, I don't even know what the charges are against anybody. It says it has to be under oath and writing. It's never been done. I don't know what the charges are. And if this is to extend a suspension, it wasn't done right in the first place. There was only 5 people in here when this was done, and it was done without anything under oath and writing. And that was the problem. We asked for that from the beginning, and I don't even know what the charges are, and you guys are trying to kick me out, 2 people at the same time, and at that time, you did 4 people at the same time. You grouped 4 people in there, said a bunch of lies that I was kicked out by the police, which I wasn't that day, and you said that, and then everybody voted on it as a group in 4 people. You made accusations that didn't apply to everybody in the group, and one of the persons, you didn't even get the name right. You got a Cindy Brown, and I don't even know who that is, and you suspended her.
Yeah, but we got her name now. Cindy Johnson.
Yeah, but
She suspended.
you suspended Cindy Brown, not suspended Cindy Johnson. So we have to do that over if you're gonna suspend Cindy Johnson, and what did she do? And you never put nothing in writing under oath. You guys just made up false accusations. And that was the problem with it. That's my problem. That's why you shouldn't be able to kick anybody out of here without it being under oath in writing, just like it says. And I don't know what the charges are, and I don't think anybody here does. I don't know, does anybody here know what we're being charged with?
Call for the vote.
All those in favor of extending the suspension for Mark Brown and David
Is
Brewer.
there any more discussion?
No,
No?
no.
I didn't hear another.
I second.
I didn't hear
No.
any more discussion.
I want more discussion. I second that.
I just have a question. I just have a question. Do I need-
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm hearing all this, and my question is, if there's a, procedure in order to get things done, we're trying to follow that procedure, that's what people seem to be up in arms about, hey, let's get this done, in accordance with the rules. If what he's saying is true, and then the initial suspension wasn't done by the rules, then how can we proceed with something that is not official? And that's my question.
It was followed. It was brought to the E-board, the E-board recommended a suspension. And then it was forwarded to the membership voted to suspend them, and they got suspended. But everything was followed by the rules.
If the existing statement is supposed to be provided to him, under oath, and provided to him what the, accusations are, and that wasn't done, then how can it be said that the rules were followed?
They were followed because when we sent them the letter, it specified the charges, and it specified for them to challenge the charges. They had the opportunity to challenge the charges, but the general membership decided to suspend them based on the charges that were brought upon them.
Well, then I make a motion as a member
You can't make a motion.
You have a motion
to,
We have a motion to vote, and that's what it's
let's pause this vote because it's not valid.
Yes,
From
it is.
what I'm hearing as a new person in here, hearing these things, hearing people get, irate, because why else would you raise your voice in an attempt to attack people and make accusations and name call? It seems to be that there are a couple people being singled out by a certain other couple people for, punitive action, but the manner in which the punitive action was carried out was not proper. So I don't see how we can continue to vote on a motion that was improper. And I ask that we please just redress this issue properly, and if in fact he was not given the accusations on the sworn statement, then that procedure outlined in the bylaws will be followed.
Commander,
Yes,
the procedure has been done, accepted,
yes,
let's continue to go.
and here's proof that they got proof of the charges.
But is that, in a sworn statement as stated by your bylaws? Yeah, let's go.
These are certified members, which they were sent,
But that's not a sworn statement.
listen, because that's the way the only way we can get a vote. They had to sign for them. Once they sign for them, show them the charges and everything, we receive.
That's not a sworn statement. Were you,
I was there.
but it's not a sworn statement, correct?
It is a sworn statement. So,
On your bylaws, that is not correct.
Yes, it is.
That is not a sworn statement given
I
to
have
you.
a motion and a second to cast a vote for the suspension. But
You can't motion.
I show, can you please vote with the show of hands, those in favor of the continuing suspension?
Point of order.
No,
Commander, you can't make a motion.
they made the motion.
Let's hear it. You can repeat it so we can vote on it clearly.
I made the motion to have the vote for this, to continue the suspension. It was seconded over there by Victor. Motion has been made, second, call for the vote.
All those in favor to continue the suspension, please raise your hands. Can you count? All those opposed? Motion carries to continue the suspension. All right. Since we do not have a finance officer or senior vice, I need permission from the membership to appoint a finance officer and appoint a senior vice pro tem.
I make a motion to appoint, Skipper as the.
So, make a motion, and the motion needs to.
I make a motion to allow this to be appointed.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to authorize me to appoint a finance officer and a senior vice pro temp. Any discussions on that? Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Motion carries. Skipper, are you willing to, accept the position of, finance officer pro temp?
I do accept pro tem finance officer.
Jason, do you accept the position of senior vice pro temp?
I do accept.
All right. So now we have a finance officer, we have senior vice. Now, under good of the Legion, I'm opening up nominations for commander, senior vice, commander, senior vice, finance officer. So at this time, if anybody is willing to run for commander, besides me, please.
Gary White, United States Marine Corps, Army Discharge, 2 trips to Iraq, Marine 04.
Are you a member of 07?
I am.
All
I have
right,
a card on.
that's fine.
You're good.
What's your first name and last name?
Gary White.
I nominate him.
Yeah, you can second.
I'll second that. Anyone that has a brain.
All it is that he's, interested in running for commander. And you don't need a second. Just go again. Senior vice. Anybody else?
Right? I'll put my name down for all those
You
positions.
cannot,
Any and all.
you can't, you can only run for one office.
What was he doing?
He's running for senior vice.
Oh, okay, you were nominating him?
No,
No, what? Appointed him.
I appointed him.
Oh, point, okay, thank you for clarification.
Junior vice. And anybody else running for? No. One more time, anybody else interested in running for those offices? So at this time, I close the nominations until next month at the general meeting, and if anybody else is interested in running at those, for those offices, you have the opportunity to, get in. At our next general meeting, we will have voting, after our general meeting, we will have, voting for the different positions. Seeing none, hearing none. Yes, under good of the Legion, once I need a motion in a second, but here's the recommendation. We've been approached, by the Marine Corps League, that the old, stove, they're really interested. And, donate it to them, because they have.
I make a motion, we donate the stove, once we get our new one to the Marine Corps League.
I second that.
No charge. They just have to pick it up.
Yes. That's important. Any discussion on that? Any discussion? Is there any discussion on that? So all those in favor of donating our stove, once we replace ours to the Marine Corps League, all those in favor, please raise your hand. All those opposed? Carries. Is there any further business coming for the meeting? If not, the chaplain will lead us in memorial service.
Mayor,
Yes,
permission to speak to your membership?
yes.
I'm here primarily, for membership. Right? That's the one thing that I drive is membership. Post has been pretty good at bringing in new members. I think it was the latest report was what, 25 or something like that? But you're at 82% based on the last report for, towards your goal. Right? Now, you subtract that 25 members away from your goal numbers, right? That means you got a problem with retention. Right? You gotta retain those members. The goal is to retain 90% of your members. And the reason for 90% is because people pass away, they move out of the area, you know, whatever reason they might have, they're gone, right? So we expect 10% decrease in post membership just through those events. So one of the things that I wanted to recommend to the folks was concentrate on getting those members that you had last year renewed, right? That's the retention. And the second is, work those post one Mondays. That'll help you towards your goal.
In response to that, our membership, that we're having problems, meeting, okay? We go through the measures. Yeah. Our average member is 87 years old.
Yeah. I can sympathize with you because my coach is the same way. We need new members, right? We need young members. This is a great organization. It's done so much for veterans, and it needs to continue to do so much for the veterans. Not only the veterans, but their families and the community. So, do what you can about bringing in new members, because new members are supposed to make you care about Post your legacy of the American Legion and continue on this good work. So please concentrate on that. I thank you for allowing me to attend. Appreciate that. And all posts have problems. Just deal with them as good as you can. Follow your bylaws, Constitution bylaws. Those are the guiding pieces for your post. There's some leeway in those bylaws, but the more you follow, and especially what's important is minutes. Minutes of your meeting, minutes of your executive meeting, minutes of any meeting is required. Not required by me, it's required by state law. So, keep up the good work. I'm glad you're going to sponsor the baseball team. Yeah, that's a great program. Great program. And your team did pretty darn good at this past year. I was following you. So we compete. The Red Riders, out of Ironwood and more so at any rate, keep up the good work. Just get your membership up, get it in order. And one other thing is, everybody know we're having a state convention this year in about, right? All right, I hope to see you all get there. It's a good experience. Not only experience in terms of what we offer for education, there's little workshops, but also you see how the Legion works and the protocols, and how the meetings are won. So educate yourself as much as possible. How many people here have taken the online course? The food course? Oh, yeah. Good. It's easy, it's free. You can get on it off of it, on it, off of it, it picks up where you left off. And, you know, there's really, if you miss, some questions, you can go back over it and do it. You can easily do it, in 3 hours if you wanted to do it all in one shot. And of course, that is a pre-wrap if you want to go to the Arizona Legion College, which is about 2.5 days of